Well, good morning. Welcome to Daily Videos with me, Pastor Michelle and Roscoe. What are you barking at? Hush! Whoa. So that's my morning, huh? Well, I'm taping these ahead of time, but you know what I mean. So today is Monday. So I hope everyone is doing okay, including this little dog here. So let's start with some prayer, shall we? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. So I do hope everyone is doing okay. I hope you're hanging in there. Hope you had a good weekend, found some joy, found some times to laugh, because laughter is incredibly important. I think it can be a healing thing. So let's get back into Hunger Games. Not a lot to laugh at in Hunger Games, but it is exciting. So let's hear what's happening with Katniss and trying to escape and survive. I won't close my... They're having a party outside, so I just hear some honking. I won't close my eyes. The comment about Rue has filled me with fury. Enough fury, I think, to die with some dignity. As my last act of defiance, I will stare her down as long as I can see, which will probably not be an extended period of time. But I will stare her down. I will not cry out. I will die in my own small way, undefeated. Yes, I don't think you'll have much use for your lips anymore. Want to blow Loverboy one last kiss, she asks. I work up a mouthful of blood and saliva and spit in her face. She flushes with rage. All right, then, let's get started. I brace myself for the agony that's sure to follow, but as I feel the tip open the first cut at my lip, some great force yanks Clove from my body, and then she's screaming. I'm too stunned at first, too unable to process what has happened. Has PETA somehow come to my rescue? Have the game makers sent in some wild animal to add to the fun? Has a hovercraft inexplicably plucked her into the air? But when I push myself up on my numb arms, I see it's none of the above. Clove is dangling a foot off the ground, imprisoned in Thresh's arms. I let out a gasp, seeing him like that, towering over me, holding Clove like a rag doll. I remember him as big, but he seems more massive, more powerful than I even recall. If anything, he seems to have gained weight in the arena. He flips Clove around and flings her onto the ground. When he shouts, I jump, never having heard him speak above a mutter. What you do to that little girl? You kill her? Clove is scrambling backward on all fours, like a frantic insect, too shocked to even call for Cato. No, it wasn't me. You said her name. I heard you. You kill her? Another thought brings a fresh wave of rage to his features. You cut her up like you were going to cut up this girl here? No, Clove sees a stone about the size of a small loaf of bread in Thresh's hand and loses it. Cato! Clove! I hear Cato's answer, but he's too far away. I can tell that much to do her any good. What was he doing? Trying to get Foxface or PETA? Or had he been lying in wait for Thresh and just badly misjudged his location? Thresh brings the rock down hard against Clove's temple. It's not bleeding, but I can see the dent in her skull, and I know that she's a goner. There's still life in her now, though, in the rapid rise and fall of her chest, the low moan escaping her lips. When Thresh whirls around on me, the rock rays, I know it's no good to run, and my bow is empty. The last loaded arrow having gone in Clove's direction, I'm trapped in the glare of his strange golden brown eyes. What's she mean about Rue being your ally? We teamed up, blew up the supplies. I tried to save her. I did, but he got there first. District 1, I say. Maybe if he knows I help Rue, he won't choose some slow, sadistic end for me. Will Katniss survive? We will find out tomorrow. So, anyway, I do hope everyone is doing okay. I know these are just, I say it every day, I feel like, but it's just crazy times, you know. But these videos do ground me. I like doing these videos. So, today's edition, and one of my things I really like doing is reading and reading out loud. So I wanted to read out loud the next edition of John Pavlovitz, and this one is called The Christians Making Atheists. Should be interesting. So let's hear what John Pavlovitz has to say. Growing up in the church, I was taught that the worst thing one could be was a non-believer, that nothing was as tragic as a doomed soul that condemned itself by rejecting God. The religion of my childhood drew a sharp, clear line between the saved and the damned. All that mattered was making sure someone found themselves on the better side of this line, and the atheists and humanists didn't have a shot. In light of this supposed truth, the heart of the faith, I was told, was to live in a way that reflected the character and the love of Jesus so vividly, so beautifully, that others were compelled to follow after him. That a Christian's living testimony might be the catalyst for someone's conversion. The Bible called it making disciples. And it was at the heart of our tradition. As the venerable hymn declared, we Jesus people were to be known by our love. What a difference a couple of decades makes. Just ask around. People outside the church will tell you love is no longer our calling card. It is now our condemnation, bigotry, judgment, and hypocrisy. In fact, the Christianity prevalent in so much of America right now isn't just failing to draw others to Christ. It is actively repelling them from him. By operating in a way that is in full opposition to the life and ministry of Jesus, it is understandably producing people fully opposed to the faith that bears his name. In record numbers, the conservative American church is consistently and surely making atheists, or at the very least, it is making former Christians, people who no longer consider organized religion an option because the Jesus they recognize is absent. With the skies falling, hand-wringing, its political bed-making, and its constant venom toward diversity, it is giving people no alternative but to conclude that based on the evidence of people professing to be godly, God is of little use. In fact, this God may be toxic. And that's the greatest irony of it all. The very evangelicals who've spent the last 50 years in this country demonizing those who reject Jesus are now the single most compelling reason for them to do so. They are giving people who suspect that all Christians are self-righteous, hateful hypocrites, all the evidence they need. The church is confirming the outside world's most dire suspicions about this once most sacred institution. These people aren't stupid. They realize that bigotry, even when it is wrapped in religion or justified by the Bible or spoken from a pulpit, it is still bigotry. They can smell the putrid stench of phony religion from a mile away, and frankly, this version of the church reeks of it. People are steering clear in droves, choosing to find meeting and community and something that resembles love outside its gatherings. With every persecution of someone in the LGBTQ community, with every unprovoked attack on Muslims, with every planet-wrecking decision, with every regressive civil rights move, the flight from Christianity continues. Meanwhile, the celebrity preachers and professional Christians publicly beat their breasts about the multitudes walking away from God, oblivious to the fact that they are the impetus for the Exodus. They are the reason for the Exodus. And one day soon, these same religious folks will look around, lamenting the empty buildings and the irrelevance of the church in a world that has no use for it, and they'll wonder how this happened. They'll blame a corrupt culture or the liberal media or a rejection of biblical values or the devil himself, but it will be none of those things. No, the reason the church soon will be teetering on the verge of extinction and irrelevance will be because those entrusted to perpetuate the love of Jesus in the world lost the plot so horribly and gave the world no other option but to look elsewhere for goodness and purpose and truth. Soon these evangelicals will ask why so much of America has rejected Jesus, and will remind them of these days and assure them that they have not rejected Jesus at all. They just found no evidence of him in them or their church. And so there you have it. I do hope everyone remembers that, if you do identify as a Christian, we need to fully emulate and model our lives after Jesus. And that's not always an easy thing to do, because Jesus is at the heart of our faith, and that's who we should be living like. So even in the midst of this pandemic, it's possible. So let's continue to spread love, my friends, and just remember that you're loved. And I hope that gives you peace in the midst of this chaos that surrounds us. God bless you.